Dairy Queen. We're back for Mommy Chronicles episode 2. What I wish I knew about breastfeeding, or breastfeeding 101. Let's get it. Let's go. Alright guys, so let's just talk about breastfeeding real quick, or nursing. It is, how you feed your baby. Some people typically go from day 0 up until about 12, 18 months. Other people go, 2, 3, 4 years. Just kind of depends on your personal preference. To me, after 18 months, they got good teeth. Babies eat some food, but I'm not here to push that either way, except, just kind of give some tips and tricks and some little known facts about breastfeeding. First off, there are lactation consultants whose only job, let's be clear, only job is to be in the hospital and to help new moms latch. Because latching is the hardest part. Making sure that your baby actually knows how to latch. And oftentimes we think that it's just the nipple. That is where I messed up with my first one. Just putting the nipple in his mouth and saying, oh, he has a good latch. And then getting home and he wasn't doing it anymore. And then I was lost. But when we're talking about latching, the baby's mouth, complete mouth, maybe I'll insert a video here. Complete mouth should be over the nipple and the areola, or the part around the nipple. So there's so many reasons why a baby cannot latch. And so it's one of those things, again, if you watch part 1 of this, and we talked about the 4th trimester, that's one of those things. If my child does not latch, if my child does not has a lip tie or has a tongue tie or whatever and can't latch, as a mom, I feel like I failed. I feel like, I failed my child already, and my child is days old. And so that's one of those things that's very, very sensitive, and people don't talk about it. And so just know that there are reasons why you cannot breastfeed. So on top of that, let's also get into how much milk you should produce. Let's be clear, and I am going to insert a picture here, but let's be clear that a baby's stomach, those first couple of weeks, is extremely small. Anybody who tell you that a baby is drinking more than an ounce at those first couple of feedings is setting you up for failure. Unless your body is absolutely, and when I say absolutely, I mean absolutely not producing, not making any milk, your body is producing what your baby needs. Period. Every time your baby is hungry and you put the baby to the breast, that is signaling to your body to produce more milk. So because babies do cluster feed, which means one time my daughter ate for an hour straight. She would nurse. She stopped for about 2 minutes. Nurse. She go 15 minutes. She stopped about 2 minutes. Nurse. Babies cluster feed. And that's typically signifying some type of growth spurt. That's signifying some type of, what they call a leap in brain activity and gross motor skills, just whatever. Typically when babies cluster feed, it's because they're more hungry, because they're going on some type of spurt. But again, when your baby does that, your body says, oh snap, I need to produce milk. Now, there are some things that you can do. For example, when I see my supply currently what I didn't realize the first time, and so I started, taking supplements and doing things like that, and I think that really killed my supply up front and initially. Increase your water intake. Again, for a normal human who is just normally active, moderately active, going to work, eating okay, we're supposed to drink half our body weight in water. Okay? So now think about that. That's just for you. You're also producing a liquid from your body. And so if you drinking half of your body weight, for you, you gotta also add that in for the baby. Now, thankfully, I was able with my first one to go the complete. Actually, I went 13 months. That was my goal, and so I'm extremely, extremely proud of myself. But I probably wouldn't have had to supplement. Like, it got to a point where every month, once 1 week out of the month, I was supplementing so that I could build up my supply, so that I would have enough to make it through the next 3 weeks for the month, and then I would start over. And thankfully, I have yet to have to supplement. My baby will be 5 months in 13 days, and so that's in 2 weeks. And so I'm really, really grateful for that. And honestly, I attribute it to just my water intake. Some of the things that I did not know, some of the things I did not know is how time consuming. You know, and you understand that baby's gonna eat every 2 to 3 hours, but that literally means every 2 to 3 hours you have to be available, or some milk has to be available. And so that limits really what you can do and where you can go. For example, like this past weekend, my husband and I went out Friday night and Saturday. I had a training, so that meant my baby girl wasn't with me, but I needed to have milk for her Friday night, and I had to have milk for her all day Saturday. So then that introduces pumping, and that is going to be another video, breast pump. I am going to talk about the pump that I had with my first one versus the pump I had with my baby now. And so you have to come back and check that one out. But, you know, that introduces pumping for those of us also who go to work. And so that adds an extra stress when we're talking about breastfeeding. I can nurse all day long. It doesn't bother me. She even has little chiclets now. Doesn't bother me at all. But this pumping thing is for the birds. But that's another video. I've even had to watch another thing I didn't realize about breastfeeding. I've had to watch what I eat more so now than when I was pregnant. Yesterday I was going to order a salad, but my baby doesn't do raw veggies well. So, like, I haven't had a salad because that's just, you know, just lettuce or, you know, carrots or whatever. That's raw veggies. I can't do spicy food, which I absolutely love. Love spicy food, but I can't eat it because it might gives her gas. Thus far, with my son, I couldn't really do like eggs. I'm not a big milk drinker anyway. And I drink almond milk, so that was never, but like eggs were big for him. And so these are things that as a, you know, a new mom, and as somebody who really wants to breastfeed and to nurse, you have to remember, like, what you eat now, your baby eats. And a lot of that is too harsh and too heavy for the newborn. It just is. Nighttime feedings, they come every night, man. And baby girl eats every 2 to 3 hours. Now, that don't mean she woke, but she definitely gonna want to eat every 2 to 3 hours. And unless I have milk, guess what? I gotta get up with her. So it's very important to make a decision. Again, the best kind of baby is a fed baby. So whether you do breast or you do bottle, whether you do formula or mommy milk, as long as you feed your baby, that's all that really matters. But once you make a decision to breastfeed, stick with it. It's not easy. It really is not. It's just like making this decision to have a natural birth, a completely natural birth, no medicine, none of that, versus having an epidural. Whatever you decide, sit in it. Own what you decide, and be okay with your decision. So just in closing, when we're talking about breastfeeding, just know it is time consuming. Know there's also a learning curve. You definitely get better with it as time goes on. You start to, you know, begin to understand your body and baby a little bit more. You still have to know those cues and cries for when baby's hungry. Also just know that what you eat matters, and the amount of water that you intake matters. As I'm just finished taking some water in. Here's my bottle. As I'm driving now, I always make sure that I have a bottle of water. I have my container of water everywhere I go. Also know that, you know, sleep is going to be a fleeting thing these next couple of months, until baby is probably about 7 months. And then at that point, baby is really going 3 to 4 hours, maybe even 5 hours through the night, without needing to nurse, without needing to feed. That's the biggest difference between bottle feeding and breastfeeding. Bottles, you can fill them up. You really can. You can do off top at about 3 months. You can start giving babies 6 ounces of formula. Well, my baby is almost 5 months and she's still only drinking about 3.5 ounces at each feed. So if I'm giving her 3 and another baby is getting 6, who's gonna sleep longer? So definitely, again, around about 8 months, that sleep will come back and you'll be able to sleep a little bit longer. But just know that. And then lastly, just trust your body. Trust your body to do what it was naturally meant to do. And if there are any issues or problems, there's always people that can help you out, from lactation consultants. Check your insurance. I know with my son, my insurance actually checked on me every 3 months. So at 3 months, at 6 months, at 9 months, my insurance called, and at 12 months, just to make sure lactation was going well. There's hospital lines you can call, and then guess what? That's the beauty of YouTube. There's all kind of YouTube videos, not just this one. And if you have a question, just put it in the comments. I promise I will answer it, get back to you, and answer anything that you. Guys, if you've been with me this long, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Smash the subscribe button. Make sure you turn on the notification bell so that you are notified every time I upload. If you like these types of videos, let me know in the comments. If you have some suggestions or topics for Mommy and Me Diaries, let me know in the comments, and I will most definitely and happily answer those videos. Alright, y'all, Dairy out. Do my peace sign when I ain't gonna hit no car. Hold on. Alright, Dairy out.